Super Bowl 59 is in the books. The Philadelphia Eagles are world champions. And let's be real, Philly didn't just win against the Kansas City Chiefs. They did it in a way we may have never seen before in Super Bowl history. Think about this. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. This is the same dynasty that's been terrorizing the NFL for half a decade. And the Eagles didn't just survive against them, they flat out dismantled them. So today we're going to break down exactly what went down, how Jalen Hurts delivered one of the greatest quarterback performances in Super Bowl history, how Nick Sirianni and Kellen out-schemed one of the best defensive coordinators ever, how the Eagles' defense put on an all-time show, and why this victory might have just changed the entire balance of power in the NFL. And of course, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this game marks the end of the Chiefs' run? Or is it just the start of the Eagles' dynasty? Drop your thoughts below, because this one's going to be debated for years. Section 1. Jalen Hurts' career-defining moment. Let's start with Jalen Hurts, because this wasn't just a Super Bowl win for him. This was the game that defines careers. Remember, Kansas City came in with one goal: shut down Saquon Barkley. Steve Spagnuolo stacked the box, crowded the gaps, and dared Hurts to beat them through the air. Well, Hurts didn't just rise to the occasion. He owned it. His pocket presence was calm, his reads were sharp, and his accuracy was surgical. A.J. Brown bullying corners on contested catches. Devonta Smith carving up coverages like a surgeon. Dallas Goedert bailing him out on tight window throws. And even Jahan Dotson, the underrated pickup, stepping in at just the right moments. Hurts spread the ball around so efficiently that by the fourth quarter, KC's defense looked like they didn't even know who to double anymore. Context. This is the same Jalen Hurts who, just a couple years ago, was doubted as just a system QB. Remember that narrative? People questioning if Philly should even extend him? Well, tonight shut the door on that forever. Anecdote. After the game, one Chiefs defender reportedly said, "We threw everything at him. Nothing worked." That's when you know you're dealing with an elite quarterback. Audience prompt. So here's a question. Did Jalen Hurts just enter the conversation as the best QB in the NFL? Or does he need another ring to really stake his claim? Let me know below. Section 2. The masterclass from Sirianni and Kellen. Now, none of this happens without the coaching staff. Nick Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kellen put together one of the best game plans we've seen in years. And remember, they were up against Spagnuolo, a guy who has shut down legends in the past. But here's where Philly was smart. They used KC's aggression against them. Every time the Chiefs tried to sell out against the run, Philly hit them with quick slants, screens, and deep crossers. It was death by 1,000 cuts, until Philly went over the top for the dagger. Background detail. What's crazy is that Moore was fired from Dallas not too long ago because people thought he couldn't adjust. And now, he's holding up a Super Bowl ring after outcoaching one of the NFL's most respected defensive minds. Speculation. Imagine being a Cowboys fan right now. You let Kellen walk, and he ends up calling the plays that bring your rival a championship. Brutal. Audience prompt. Cowboys fans, if you're watching, be honest. Does this one sting a little extra? Section 3. The unsung heroes, the offensive line. Let's not forget the big boys, because the Eagles' offensive line owned this game. Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton, Jordan Mailata. This trio gave Hurts all day to throw. And Saquon Barkley? Even though KC tried to bottle him up, the line still managed to open just enough lanes to keep the Chiefs honest. Most importantly, they completely neutralized Chris Jones. Think about that. Chris Jones is one of the most disruptive forces in football, a guy who can wreck a game plan by himself. The Eagles erased him. Context. Philly's identity has always been tied to their line play. From Jason Kelce anchoring the unit for years, to Lane Johnson's warrior mentality, this team has never been afraid to invest up front. And once again, it paid off on the biggest stage. Audience prompt. O-linemen rarely get credit. If you had to give one of these guys the Unsung Hero award for Super Bowl 59, who gets it? Section 4. Vic Fangio's defensive clinic. Now, here's the real story. Because as great as Hurts and the offense were, the defense might have been even more legendary. Vic Fangio's group played one of the most complete games we've ever seen on the Super Bowl stage. Josh Sweat collapsing the edge, Jalen Carter bullying the interior, Milton Williams and Nolan Smith wreaking havoc. And then you had the young corners, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, playing lights out against Mahomes' weapons. Stat nugget: Mahomes posted the lowest QBR of his playoff career in this game. That's not just rare, that's historic. Parallel: it reminded me of the 2013 Seahawks crushing Peyton Manning, or the '85 Bears humiliating the Patriots. That same level of dominance, where one of the best quarterbacks ever looks completely helpless. Speculation: was this just one great night? Or is Fangio quietly building the NFL's next great defense? Section 5. The bigger picture, legacy and dynasty talk. So let's zoom out. What does this mean for the Eagles, for Hurts, and for the NFL as a whole? 1. For Jalen Hurts, this is his Brady in 2001 moment, the defining win that could mark the start of a dynasty. 2. For the Eagles, they've built a complete team, balanced on both sides of the ball. That's rare. Most champions lean heavily on either offense or defense. Philly is both. 3. For the Chiefs, are we witnessing the end of their dominance? Or is this just a temporary setback? Context: the Chiefs have been to 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. Dynasties don't last forever. Even the Patriots eventually hit a wall. So maybe this is the turning point where we look back and say, yep, this is where it shifted. Audience prompt: what do you think? Did the Eagles end the Chiefs dynasty, or are we overreacting? Section 6. Hypotheticals and what-if scenarios. Let's play the what-if game for a second. What if KC had managed to stop Hurts early? Could Barkley have carried the load? What if Fangio hadn't been hired this offseason? Does this defense look anywhere near this dominant? And the big one: if Philly goes back-to-back next year, are we talking about the start of the NFL's next dynasty? Sometimes the fun of football isn't just what happened, but what could have happened if one or two things went differently. Audience prompt: which what-if scenario fascinates you the most? Section 7. Emotional and cultural layers. Beyond X's and O's, this game was about identity. Philly fans chanting, waving Kelly green everywhere. The emotional legacy of Jason Kelce retiring and passing the torch to a new era. Even the fact that Autumn Lockwood, the Eagles' assistant coach, became the first black woman to coach and win a Super Bowl. These little moments matter. They're what make championships unforgettable. Not just the scoreboard, but the stories. Section 8. Closing. A win we'll never forget. So here's the truth. The Eagles didn't just win a Super Bowl. They made a statement. They beat the best quarterback in the world. They outcoached one of the smartest staffs in football. They played complete, dominant football in all 3 phases of the game. And if you're still underestimating them, trust me, you're going to regret it. This wasn't just another parade. This was the night Philadelphia planted its flag as the NFL's new powerhouse. All right, Eagles fans and football fans in general, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway from Super Bowl 59? Was this the game that cements Hurts as the face of the league? Did the Eagles just end the Chiefs' run? Or are we going to see a rematch sooner than later? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around, because this story is only just beginning.